Back to everybody's favorite topic, breast implants. We're going to talk about a paradigm shift that may be occurring. Originally, breast implants were placed surgically in the space on top of the muscle, what we call sub-glandular, and then it moved to largely under the muscle, sub-pectoral. But now there seems to be a movement maybe to back on top of the muscle. I don't know. Cliff, what's your take on that?
You know, I think with breast augmentation, one size does not fit all, and I think that also occurs with whether you place them above the pectoralis muscle or below. I like to explain the pros and the cons of each position for my patient, and we make the decision together. I think above the muscle is a great place for the right patient, and now with gel implants that reduce rippling and potentially adding fat to the breast, we have a lot more options to us, and so above the muscle is a much more valid position than it used to be with saline implants.
Yeah, you know, I understand where you're coming from there, Cliff, but you know, to me, and both of us are old enough to have seen all these sub-glandular ladies, because that's the way it was done, come back and over the years have thinning. You know, I've always thought that breast implant surgery is all about soft tissue cover, and the more the better, particularly in the upper part of the breast. So, you know, aren't you worried, and I understand, I mean, some of these muscular fit gals, you know, you're thinking we're gonna have distortion if we put it under the muscle. I get that, but what's the trade-off, I guess, 10 years down the road when they come in and they're not, you know, pounding the weights or maybe quite as fit and they are thin, what's it gonna look like?
Well, I would say the same for below the muscle positions. I've seen implants below the muscle 10 years out that had a vector of force on them that distorted the breast to some degree. So I think that for different people it's different things. We can now add to the soft tissue envelope, which is important. When we see people that are thinning soft tissue, and it might change over time, we can put it back, which is something that's a little different than just a few years ago.
And you're talking about fat grafting for that.
Fat grafting.
Yeah, that has unquestionably allowed us to correct a multitude of problems that we are sometimes creating maybe in these situations.
I like to sit down with a patient and go over the pros and cons of each position because I think they both have a place. And I think that there are more and more women who are very, very active in their upper body. And I think sometimes it's a better position to put it above the muscle.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. And I think in conclusion then, you know, there's not an absolute right or wrong answer. Sometimes they're just different. And as long as we engage the patient and have them informed, hopefully we'll come up with the right answer.
That's the key, Bruce.